The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. For the best in below-the-waist grooming, visit manscaped.com. Use promo code NNF for 20% off. That is manscaped.com.
So she's talking about the hunt. So we go into this antique store. She likes to collect old, like, character glasses, drinking glasses. She likes to go on the hunt and try to find individual ones, because if she finds one...
So you won't buy it in the set. You want to find them individually in the wild.
Correct. There was like 15 different sets, and they're all complete. And she's looked at them, and she's like, you know what the problem with this is? And I'm like, what's the problem? They're complete. And I'm like, how is that a problem?
I literally said to him, it's too easy, and I walked away.
Oh my God. What's so funny is you two are like live in the same world, yet so different. Because in Lewis's world, in the nerd world of collecting things, getting it in a set is better. If you can find that full, complete, minted, unopened set, it's eureka. I've hit gold. Sarah sees a set and she like serendipities it. She opens the package, throws one into the ocean to see if it turns up somewhere. She mails one to a random address and then buries one. Just maybe it'll show up again. By the way, I love that movie.
Have not explained her any better. This looks fantastic.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on all of our social media, all of our links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. From there, you can join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits, and for just as low as $2 a month, join our Patreon. You could watch us as we record these things live, get all the cutting room floor, join our Discord. It's a hoot. Also, check out our really sweet merchandise. Now, we've got a weird night tonight. A lot of people are here. Some people are not here. More people are here. It's a weird night. So my name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, my co-host. She's everybody's favorite food truck critic, Sarah.
Hello.
Sitting in for Mary, Game Master Ryan.
Hello.
And sitting in for Chris, Sarah's boo thing, Sarah's husband, Lewis.
What's going on, everybody?
Our producer, Alex.
Hola.
So this is my flu game. I have COVID, but everybody's really focused on Chris's Achilles and all that. So thank you, Chris, for stealing the thunder. Nobody cares about the COVID. It's all, Chris, how are you doing? How's your ankle? How was the surgery? How are the drugs? Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I'm dying. I have no idea what's up or what's down. I'm so confused. That's like, I didn't have any cold symptoms like I did the first time I had COVID. It's just all foggy. I'm foggy as hell. Pretty much what Sarah would be on a Tuesday night after, hit of the big J.
Just a Tuesday night?
She says right now, bitch. So, Lewis, thank you so much for coming on tonight. There's a reason why I wanted the both of you here. So we've talked a lot about the collecting that goes on. Lewis spends a lot of money on the expensive tech stuff, really, really fancy stuff. And Sarah does not. Sarah's Jewish and counts pennies, doesn't spend money. How does this dynamic work? And do not hold back on me, okay? This is the one. This is the one when I break you two. Not break you two up, but just break you two into the fight. We've got to get there.
Jeez.
Okay. Let's. Nothing that you said was true, except for that I do spend money on tech.
And Sarah's not Jewish?
The whole. That too. However, she does love spending money.
Yeah.
Well, on Loungeflies, we know this.
Right. Loungeflies and anything that is vintage. If it's funny. We were just having this conversation yesterday. How it was actually this morning. She said our daughter said she wanted to go to a garage sale, and she's like, "Got it, let's do it." Sarah's all on board, and she wants to do it. Fun fact: her father carries a $20 bill on him just for garage sales.
Okay.
And Sarah's the same way. Because she will go into garage sales and it does not matter if she needs it or not. The point is she got it for a quarter or 50 cents when it was supposed to be $1. She will get it. She will fucking get it just because she's able to hassle money. And our shit is like ridiculous. We have a shitload of a lot of shit.
Okay, so pretty much Chris Yob's bathroom with all the collections and stuff.
I mean, basically, because he's right. So I actually, we went to the library. I went to the library with the girls, and they have a little bookcase that's just vintage books. I'm not going to read them. I'm really not. But do I have to have them? Absolutely. Did I make my children walk a block away to the nearest bank so I could get out cash so that I could buy these books that are sitting on a shelf collecting dust? Yes, I did. And I don't feel bad about it at all because now I'm like, ooh, check this out. I have this, 1940s copy of this book that I will never read, but I love having.
But it's a collector thing. But instead of going on eBay or getting it through a reseller where it would be ridiculous amount of money, you got it for 25 cents.
Well, I like the hunt of things.
Okay.
Because I can go online and find anything that I want, and I could find it for a good price. Don't get me wrong. If there's something I want that I see, I will always find it for cheaper. But that's not fun because I can just find it on eBay. I want to find it out in the wild. That's what I say.
Okay.
Yeah, she does. And she loves going to downtown DeLand, and
I'm sure there's some real treasures in downtown DeLand.
Oh, there are.
Well, actually,
used meth pipes.
Well, we still haven't found them.
But Sarah's looking. Damn it.
We're still looking now.
No! Don't say
sure.
that.
No, but. If it's vintage, you'll get it.
Unlike Mary, I do have a gag reflex, and I almost lost my beverage down the front of my shirt.
Well, all of those that you'd find are going to be, pre-loved and used. So anything vintage, I mean.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, but okay, we didn't have anything to do. For the first time in forever, we said we're not going to a theme park. And Sarah said, oh, let's go to downtown DeLand. I was like, okay. What do we do?
What a trade-off. We're not going to go to a theme park. Let's go to downtown DeLand.
But that is
viable substitute, Sarah.
That is a theme park for her. What do we do, babe? What do we do?
We went antiquing. And I just looked through every single shelf and behind everything.
How many?
Hold on, that's funny. Antiquing is what my wife calls having sex with me on a rare occasion when it happens.
God damn. But how many stories did this store have?
Oh, that one had 3. Just the one that we went to. Oh yeah, it was incredible. And I went
every floor.
Every floor. Absolutely. And I circled one twice because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything.
And what do we do after we left?
Oh, we went to the flea market.
Oh my gosh. So you probably stuffed your car for $1.25.
No, actually, I'm super proud. We didn't walk out with anything.
What?
From anywhere. No, I was trying to practice self-control. Am I regretting it now? 100%. Do I want to go back to some of the stores and buy a couple things? Yes. But that day, I practiced self-control and it was wonderful.
She has pictures of everything that she wanted.
I do. That's so that I can go on eBay and get them for cheaper, actually. This is the occasion that I can go online and get it cheaper.
So she's talking about the hunt. And so we go into this antique store and she likes to collect old, character glasses and drinking glasses.
Oh, I was going to say the Monopoly Man's monocle.
No, drinking glasses. And she likes to go on the hunt and try to find individual ones because if she finds one, now she wants to go find.
So you won't buy it in the set. You want to find them individually in the wild.
Correct.
There was like 15 different sets, and they're all complete. And she's looked at them, and she's like, "You know what the problem with this is?" And I'm like, "What's the problem?" They're complete. And I'm like, "How is that a problem?"
I literally said to him, "It's too easy," and I walked away.
Oh my! What's so funny is you two are live in the same world yet so different. Because in Lewis's world, in the nerd world of collecting things, getting it in a set is better. If you can find that full, complete, minted, unopened set, it's eureka! I've hit gold. Sarah sees a set and she like serendipities it. She opens the package, throws one into the ocean to see if it turns up somewhere. She mails one to a random address and then buries one. Just maybe it'll show up again. By the way, I love that movie.
Have not explain her any better. This was fantastic. I've been trying to figure out for 5 years, and you just did it in 10 seconds.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm happy to help.
I appreciate it.
Now, if you guys could help me with my marriage, that would be fantastic. No, my marriage is great. Just the sex life is not. Anyway, Sarah, are you like a master? What?
That's probably what she said.
Yeah. Sarah, are you a master negotiator when purchasing anything?
In the cases that I can be a negotiator, yes. So
everything is negotiable.
Fun fact, I lived in Asia 3 separate times. So there's a lot of, small Asian markets, and they always want to haggle with you. And
I thought she was going to say small Asians.
No.
Wow.
I went to these small markets I was
Chris
there
when he's had too much to drink with this.
Poor Chris. I was in Vietnam and I was in Thailand and all these, they had small little places that small. You'd find the same thing at every little shop. And I learned, at like 13, my first time that I went, how to really haggle with people and be like, well, I just saw it back there for this much. So, okay, I'm going to walk away. And then they come after you and they're like, wait, okay, fine, I can do that. And you never saw it behind you for anything more, but it could be. So they believe you. And so now, yes, I've learned the art of negotiating.
What do you do? Go ahead.
I don't quite believe you. You said you learned negotiating at 13. I think it was much earlier. Okay, picture it. Israel, when you were in preschool, okay? You're learning counting money. And the teacher's like, okay, now this is how you properly make change for $1. And Sarah says, no. For my time and effort, you're going to give me $2. And thus the negotiating started.
I could also blame it on my father, too, because I did start going to garage sales at a very young age. And I do have a house full of stuff that was a quarter at a garage sale. I just told Lewis this morning, I said, did you open that thing that's on the table by the couch? And he's like, no, I didn't open it. I have no idea what it is. I said, guess what it is? It's a no contact thermometer that my dad got me. He goes, you got a digital thermometer? I'm like, yes, Dad, of course. We have 2 kids. He's like, oh, well, I got this for a quarter at a garage sale. Don't know if it works, but here you go. You might need it. I'm like, okay, great. Thanks. So now it's sitting in the living room waiting for somebody, I guess, to have COVID, Scott.
No, well, I could have used it this week.
We've already had it 3 times. So maybe this 3rd time was the last.
This is my 2nd.
Yeah, I've had it 3 times.
Lewis, you were going to say something.
Yeah. So, babe, what do you do when you find something that you want on eBay? Instead of messaging them or buying it, what do you do?
I'm not impatient. I don't want the instantaneous gratification. I'm going to like your stuff and then I'm going to I'm going to wait for you to send me an offer because that's what I do. I have a store full of stuff online and when people like it, I send them an offer because I'm already marking it up a little bit because of fees and whatnot. So when somebody likes something, I'm like, I can knock it down $3 or $4 and then maybe that'll entice them.
Wait, so you knock it down $3 or $4 without saying anything? It's just they like it and you knock it down $3 or $4?
Yeah. Well, this is stuff that's been sitting there for a year or so.
Okay.
So
So
that's
it's like, you gotta get
that's
rid of it.
acceptable. I kind of want to get rid of it. But, I like something on eBay and then I wait for them to send me an offer because I know they're going to.
I remember she said, I want this. And I'm like, okay, send me, I want to see it. It was around Christmas time, right? And I start looking and I say, is this what you want or is this what you like? And she's like, yeah, but don't buy it. Don't buy it yet. You have to like it first. And I'm like, I want it now. Like, I don't want to like it and someone else sees it and they, here's the thing. If you like something on eBay, if someone else liked it, it lets them know. So that means that someone saw that I liked it and they're going to go and buy it. And I'm going to be like, fuck, I should have bought it then and there. And she's like, well,
There's always more.
It wasn't meant to be. I was like, what?
All right. In the next segment, we're going to find out more about Lewis's spending habits when it comes to the nerdy stuff and how Sarah reacts when he goes to buy these things. Because I think there's something there that we haven't tapped into. But before we go to break, are you guys ready for Travels and Tribulations?
Yes, sir.
Of course.
All right. Let's see what's up with the sophisticated gentleman this week.
What shall it bring when the gentleman rings on Travels and Tribulations?
I am someone who never forgets a goddamn thing.
Hello there, Chris, Sarah, Mary. I'm forgetting someone. Oh yeah, Game Master Ryan's on the episode tonight. Hi, Ryan.
I forget everything I do.
Hope you all are doing well. Scott Maffei.
Close.
How does it feel to be forgotten? Because
I forgot him
when I
last week.
listened to the last Sunday episode of the No New Friends podcast, it seems that you didn't mention my show.
I did. I forgot it.
Kind of stings to be forgotten, especially when you say something like this.
I am someone who never forgets a goddamn thing, okay? Ever. Also, I enjoy life lessons, okay? If someone makes a mistake in life, I feel that they should be held accountable for that mistake, and they should learn from that mistake.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, anyways, my plane just dropped me off in the forest here so that I can try to find out how to become a knight. And there's this beautiful castle over the way, and I was gonna go there, and it was gonna be nice and dandy. Some king or somebody was gonna make me a knight, but you know what? I'm kind of angry now. I'm a little bit upset, which means that I'm actually gonna go through this tunnel here in the forest. Because, there's a lot of knights out there, and I was thinking about a great knight who is excellent at taking revenge. So therefore, I'm headed over to the Bat Cave. That's right. I'm a white guy. I'm going to become a new version of the Dark Knight, like a reverse Michael Jackson. How lovely is that? I mean, honestly, though, just like Batman was going after all the people from Arkham Asylum, I mean, things are no different here in our world. With a mental health moment with Dr. Edward Samaro being gone for who knows how long, things have been just as bad. I was kind of thinking, though, about how there's so many people who get to be a knight. It's not like the old days where they would knight Sir Lancelot and Sir Galahad and all those guys. Now you've got people like Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen. Not that I am against Star Trek and Lord of the Rings and X-Men by any means. I think those are great actors. It's just interesting that they become knights based on what we consider to be knights. Be like letting a bald, moderately large guy in a fedora and a Hawaiian shirt be the Bachelor. It just wouldn't make any logical sense. Let me see what kind of weapons that I've got to use as Batman. Oh wow, look at this stuff.
Big knives, small knives, all knives and blades are included in this set. We call this one the Black Lincoln Collective Podcast.
And what are the odds my favorite podcast would be involved here as well? After all, I can't claim that No New Friends is my favorite podcast after Scott forgot to mention my show at the end of the last episode. But anyways, I'm not gonna blow my top. I'm not the challenger, after all. Anyways, now that I am a Dark Knight, I don't have to worry about going near Scott's neighborhood. I'd be chased away due to the black of my suit. Not that I would even want to go near Scott's neighborhood. But anyway, now that I've actually become a knight, it's time for me to start looking for the map that my friend Muggsy mentioned to me a few weeks ago. There's a tunnel under here. I'll have to see what it leads to. I'll give you a call from there next week. And Scott, Mafia, watch your back. Watch your back. Did Oppenheimer like cornflakes?
Okay, this next, that's really funny. Ryan, Sophisticated Gentleman, that was amazing. You know, when I was listening to the episode when it came out Sunday, I was horrified that I did not mention cases of continuity. I was like, oh my God, hopefully, like, I haven't heard from him this week. Maybe he's just really busy and I can edit it in real quick before he listens. And then I forgot to do that. And I haven't heard from him. So obviously he's angry, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sophisticated Gentleman. All right. This next part is just for the live. This will not be in the episode. So those of you watching, actually, if you're listening, instead of me cutting in saying this is a learning opportunity for you, you're not going to hear this next part. If you want to hear this next part, you need to join our Patreon for as low as $2 a month. Oh my God. So for those of you listening at home, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody. Why don't you give the old Black Lincoln Collective podcast a listen? We're funny, we're fat, and we're here 24/7 at blcpodcast.com. Anytime you want to listen, anywhere, all your favorite podcast apps. Of course, we have a YouTube channel where you can stream live with the show. Check out our shorts. We're funnier the less you hear of us. That's been a Black Lincoln Collective podcast at blcpodcast.com.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
If you'd like to hear all of our episodes, all of our past episodes, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links to all of our old episodes are there. If you didn't understand an inside joke or just wanted to re-listen to something, just check it out. It's nonewfriendspodcast.com, or you can check us out on all streaming platforms.
This is the No New Friends podcast, and I am Carlos Alberto Navarro, bro. Listening to No New Friends podcast, and I'm out, bro.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. This is literally my flu game. I am so foggy right now. I forgot to introduce Alex. If he edited it in, so it's flawless because that's how good of an editor he is. I forgot Sophisticated Gentleman's podcast, Cases of Continuity, which is now on episode 4. I think came out today, episode 4, and so check that out. But so. In segment 1, we were talking a lot about Sarah's spending habits, which are a little bit surprising, but also not so much because she does like to spend the money, but she likes to spend under $20 and fill a car full. So it's like getting those deals, finding those treasures, scouring the earth, literally scouring the earth for these little things. Sarah, are you offended by how little representation there is of where you grew up in It's a Small World?
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm not allowed to go on that ride, very often because Lewis hates it.
Oh.
I wish I could go on it more just so that he had to listen to the song over and over again, but...
Well, and also Sarah points out all the misrepresentation shit. And there's a story behind every country there where Sarah's like, oh yeah, there was one time when I was living in Asia for the 5th time.
That's so true.
That's not how it is. And, when I was in the Netherlands for the 6th go around, it's not really like that.
That's so accurate.
we don't have to go to Epcot to visit the World Showcase. Just visit Sarah's former mailing addresses. When she fills out previously living any application for housing or whatever, and she puts all of her previous addresses. It's the World Showcase. Okay, we got cut off at some point. I made a joke about Small World and the World Showcase in Sarah's bedroom. That sounded way different than the way I meant it. My bad. Sorry. No. Well, I mean, there's Puerto Rican. Sometimes there's Italian. There's adobo. So World Showcase. Anyway, wow. So
that went somewhere.
Sarah, you've got kids, right? So Lewis, you like to spend money on nerdy stuff, lightsabers and magic wands and Dungeons and Dragons, Magic the Gathering, all the nerdy stuff. So does Sarah ever put her foot down and say too much, let's negotiate, or let's put more money into save? How does that work? I need to know the dynamics.
You're not going to like the answer.
Of course not. Of course not.
No,
she says, what, honey, whatever makes you happy. Just
actually, it's funny you say that. It's more of me saying, I need this. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't. And she's like, yes, you do.
So she's the enabler.
Yeah, for sure.
This is incredible.
Like you seen, I posted pictures of our whole setup, and it all started with an idea, and I wrote down how much it was going to be, and she's like, I think we can do that. I'm like, what? I didn't know this was an option. So I'm just going to do it. So that's pretty much what it is. And I also, I like to, like, I hear her. I don't follow or I don't see what our finances are, but
don't worry. My wife doesn't trust me with them either. She's got it locked, 8 different accounts. I have no idea what we're doing in investments.
Hey, listen, one day I was able to see my bank account, and all of a sudden I wasn't.
Oh,
I tried to log into the app and nothing. I'm like, what the hell?
Didn't do it. I swear to God, I didn't do it.
Are you sure?
But I also have thought to myself, and I've quizzed him before, like, hey, this car payment, how do you pay it? Okay, how do you pay the rent? How do you do this? Just in case anything ever happened to me, how do you pay the bills? Because I deal with all of it, which I just always have, which is fine.
Louis, do you have life insurance?
I won't. I'm not going to answer that question. I'm not going to answer that question.
I already know the answer to that question, but I like him a lot, so he's not in danger of anything.
That's what all the wives say.
Yeah. So Lewis, you collect wands also, right?
Yes.
Do you have Harry's wand?
I got Lewis's wand.
Okay. Well, listen, if you have a Harry wand and you don't want to have a Harry wand anymore, just visit manscaped.com. They're the best in below the waist grooming. Just visit manscaped.com. Use the promo code NNF for 20% off your discount. And thank you, Robert, for the inspiration of that segue.
Oh, he didn't forget that.
I didn't forget. No, I never forget to talk about balls and dicks. And anyway, speaking of so I think I'm the same way as Sarah is, because my wife loves Dooney and Burke. Okay, she loves the Dooney and Burke purses. I wish she would love Loungefly because they're like half the price of Dooney and Burke. But I think that I love my wife having Dooney and Burke's more than she loves having them, because I'll see them at Disney. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she has to have that one. Like there was this really cute orange bird one. And she's like, no, I don't want it. So like I have to I end up buying all these Doonies. Like she's got a whole collection of Doonies that she's like, she loves, of course, but I'm more excited about it than she is, because she doesn't like to spend money on herself, especially. I guess that's how the rich stay rich.
No, that's how we are though. That's why we enable each other, is because we don't like to spend money on ourselves.
Right.
So that's what we constantly tell each other, like, hey, no, you have to have this. And he knows that if he says, no, I don't have to have this, my phone is up already looking up whatever it is that he wants. And I'll tell him, if you don't get it, I will get it for you. So do it now.
And I do the same for her.
Gotcha. So you guys must love apartment living then, huh? I'm just kidding.
My poor parents, like half of their storage unit is also mine. So.
You and Chris have a lot in common.
That's all stuff I've collected in the past too. Ryan can attest. We were talking about cameras and we showed him pictures of some, and that's 5 out of 70 cameras. It's wild. And they're all sitting in storage, but I love them and I like to brag about them. Do I see them? No. But do I have them? Yes.
It's so this brings back the conversation about the flea market. As soon as we walk in, one of the first places we saw was this vintage camera shop. And when we started talking to them, they started showing us like a newer camera. And Sarah's like, no, I don't want to see that. Right. And then she started pointing out the things that she has. And you can tell in these people's faces, like, wow, this girl knows exactly what she's talking about.
They did. They kept trying to point stuff out to me. And I was like, oh yeah, I have one of those. Oh yeah, I have a couple of those. Like, and then they said, oh, here, I mentioned that I love Polaroid cameras. And so they pointed out this shelf and I was like, those are too new. And I have the other ones. So no, I'm good. But thanks anyways. That's it. I have all of them, I feel like.
Ryan, who controls the money in your play? How does the dynamics of that work in the Game Master household?
Well, for us, it's worked best where we just both have our own separate accounts and we just jointly pay for everything.
Okay.
So like I have my own account. She has her own account. I'll pay half the bills. She pays half the bills. And then whatever's left over is ours.
You mean hers? Because I can tell by the little corner that you have. That's all you have.
That's actually...
She allows me to have this much.
That's actually funny because when people bring up finances, like Lewis and I have had our finances together since probably 2 weeks into us moving in together. It's just always been that way. And he and I both trust each other with how much like we spend. And we know that if it's over, a certain amount or it seems a little expensive, we're like, hey, is it cool if I get this? But otherwise, no. See, that's the problem. I buy a lot of small items that don't cost a lot, but it adds up. So
you have like the Walmart spending habits.
Maybe Walmart prices, but not Walmart items. Okay.
No. I wasn't saying that, but it's like, Walmart, you go in and you're like, oh, let me get this. And then let me get this. And it adds up and it ends up being a $300 thing. And you've got 3 shopping carts. Lewis, you were going to say something.
Can you let them know how much you spent on that Spider-Man shirt that you have?
Okay, that's an exception. All right. So, long story short, my favorite
that was
superhero.
Lewis's way of calling BS.
Oh yeah, well that's a fact. So my favorite superhero is Spider-Man. I go big or go home. I love him. And the new Spider-Man movie was coming out. Which one was that, babe? The latest one.
The last one. The
last one.
Spider-Verse?
No Way Home. Okay. No, sorry. Tom, the live action.
The real movie. Okay, gotcha.
And it was a big deal, all 3 of the Spider-Man. Like, it was.
Spoiler alert!
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm just kidding.
I was like 5 years old.
Anyways, so I had to, be dressed for the occasion, but at the same time, I wanted to have something I could wear all the time. And we go to Universal constantly. So I found online a vintage 90s Spider-Man ride t-shirt that's got Spider-Man and the Goblin, and it's the ride, but it's from the 90s and they don't have it anymore. So anyways, it was like $150, but that's
hold on. Wait, hold on.
But it's no big deal because I wear it all the time.
Okay, so it's fine.
It's fine. The price and moved on. That's exactly how she pointed out to me.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Okay, you want something, Scott? Here you go. The fact is, I was watching that on eBay for a very, very, very long time, and I wanted it so bad. And
did you like it first?
I did, but there's not a whole lot of them, and I know this. They know this. Whoever was selling it. All right, so it was one of those things that I like always had to open on my phone, and he knew this and he saw it. And so finally it was getting close to the movie premiere and he was like, just do it. You got to just do it. If you don't do it now, it's going to be too late. Go ahead. And so I did, but there was some enabling in there. I will, call him out on that.
This was a t-shirt. It's not like made out of the Spider-Man material. It's a t-shirt.
Correct.
Yeah, like
it's not a cosplay.
It's just a t-shirt from the ride.
Yeah, but from like 30 years ago,
See, here's where they got you. Okay, because they got one over on you. Islands of Adventure opened up in 1999. So really it's not that old of a shirt.
But here's the thing. Vintage theme park items go for a lot of money, and you go to the theme parks a lot. Okay. So you buy a vintage Splash Mountain t-shirt. All right. They're going for $200 to $300. So if you think about it,
but it's only going for that much in at the Republican National Convention. It doesn't go well
that much
in the California or
vintage market. Vintage market all over the world. So I justified my purchase by spending 50% off on a Spider-Man t-shirt.
So here's
I wear all the time.
Here's a question then. Why not buy a bunch of new stuff? It's inexpensive, and then in 20 years it becomes vintage.
Okay. No,
we've had this conversation before.
I feel it's a weird feeling of like, I hate walking into a store and buying new clothes. I literally hate it. Even if I go into a thrift store and buy like a new item that's been, pre-loved, I guess you could say, but it's that sounds weird, but you know what I mean? Like
it sounds a little slutty. Pre-loved. Like the shirt was, a little slutty,
It's
made some bad decisions in college.
Well, some of the clothes show that, all right? And those are the ones that are still sitting at Goodwill, okay? You have to dig through quite a bit. But I have a weird, I don't like to buy new clothes. It's strange, but even the girls.
Here's why she doesn't. Because I buy my clothes at Target for $7. My shirts, printed, all of them. But here's the thing. We get to a theme park and my beautiful wife starts counting how many other people have them out loud. And
like the Target shirt? They're like, you've got the matching shirt?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
And then two. And then, three.
Okay, Scott, how
4.
many times have you gone to Universal Studios, okay? And you have seen the people wearing the burgundy shirts with the 9 3/4 on the front of it. Okay. Right. So Lewis owns one of these. And so every time somebody walks by, I'm like, oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. But I went for my birthday, 2-3 years ago to Universal, and I was wearing my Twister sweater, which is my pride and joy. And it's obviously been closed for that long. And the people at Hagrid's were like, oh my God, that is the coolest sweater I've ever seen. You want to get back in line? Like everybody's talking about it. So they let me cut the whole line because of how cool my sweater was. Nobody's letting you cut line for a 9 3/4 t-shirt, buddy. No, absolutely not. Everybody on the ride was like, oh my God, because they have the headsets. So when I got on the ride, somebody had mentioned it. And then by the time I get through the entire line, everybody's like, oh my God, they were talking about this on the headset. And there you are. That's such a cool sweater. I got it for $1.99 at Goodwill. Like it was my favorite sweater ever. And when I got off the ride, they were like, hey, oh my God, there you are. Do you want to cut line and get back in? That's a 2-hour wait for that ride. I was like, hell yeah. My ride, sweater got me through the line.
So it paid
Saved
for
me
itself.
2 hours. It really did. It really
I get
did.
head nods when I wear shirts that everyone else have.
Listen, we don't need to know what happens in the restrooms at
Listen,
Hollywood Studios.
Lewis is so funny because every time somebody compliments him on a t-shirt, he looks at what I'm wearing first and then looks down and goes, oh, you're talking to me.
Did you get a free motorcycle wearing that shirt, Sarah?
No.
Sarah's wearing a Honda shirt.
If I was going to get a free motorcycle, I would want it to be a Honda Goldwing though. So, just keep that in mind.
Hey, she didn't get a motorcycle, but she did get a Puerto Rican.
Oh, that's good. Good. My motorcycle's on.
Okay.
I got you, Lewis. So here's what I do. Here's my shirt buying strategies. And I learned this because my wife and I were so excited about the I Love You, I Know t-shirt with the silhouette of Han Solo and Princess Leia on it. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Everybody everybody has that goddamn t-shirt. So now we bought the Spirit jersey. It's I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And on the back it says I know. So we bought those, but we're hanging on to them. We're hanging on to them until something else comes out. So then we can be vintage and original.
That's so funny that you say that, because when I buy Loungeflies, I will buy them and then wait until they're not at the parks anymore. And then I'll wear them again. And people will be like, oh my God, where'd you get them? And then it's just the satisfaction of being like, yeah, I got it here, but it's gone now. So
Spirit, I am obsessed with Spirit jerseys. I will not wear them until like the next season. So now I'm wearing my 2022 Orange Bird Spirit jersey. I have the 2023, but I won't wear it till next year because
there's
it'll
only
be vintage.
One Spirit jersey that I want to get my hands on, and they're so expensive.
Which one's that?
But it's from probably a couple years ago, but it's the Star Wars hyperspace one. And then it says on the back, like in a galaxy far, far away. Like, yeah, it's the whole thing. But I see them online all the time, and it's a lot of money for a Spirit jersey, and it's only cold like 2 days out of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, but Spirit jerseys are so comfortable. They're not too heavy and they're not too lightweight. They're perfect. Like
you don't need to convince her.
Yeah, and Spirit jerseys are expensive anyway.
I do have a knockoff one that's Coco, but it goes with the whole outfit. The purse, the Spirit jersey. I have Coco jeans. It's the works. Oh yeah. I even have a wallet for when I pull it out of the purse. So like, oh, you have another layer of Coco. Yes, I do.
He wears the whole outfit when I make tacos because she wants to be part of it.
It's the only reason I go to Epcot is from Mexico to go see the tiny little corner that is Coco.
The tiny little corner, yeah.
It is.
All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, we've got Jersey Man, Florida Man, and so much more.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF, as in No New Friends, and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Psst. Hey, you want to join a cult? Well, this might be your lucky day. For just $2 a month and a simple blood oath, you can join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. In addition to the amazing feeling of donating to the poor, you will have access to Patreon exclusive content, live shows, and maybe even a behind-the-scenes look at my secret stash. To get started, head on over to nonewfriendspodcast.com and hit join our clubhouse. Can't wait to see you at the initiation ceremony. Oh, and in the chat during our live shows, of course.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast. We're having a very educational evening this evening, finding all about finances and how it's managed and et cetera, et cetera. But are you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
We are.
Not really.
Aww.
Can I play?
No, Ryan, you can't play.
Lewis is just bad at games in general.
Whether flipping a fan boat or crashing a truck, these states are filled with people who suck. So it's time for us to play New Jersey Man versus Florida Man.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from New Jersey. One is from Florida. It's up to us to decide which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan. Coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom, located this week at a psych ward. A lot of you might not know this about me, but I volunteer some time at the psych ward every year just to help out. A lot of the people here live in their own little realities and don't really know what's going on. But while we're here, I want to go ahead and introduce you to a couple of my favorite patients. We'll start off with this lady over here. This is Sarah. She wanders the halls around here, stealing the clothes of other patients and then tries to sell them online. She also talks a lot about her husband, who she thinks comes and visits her all the time. The poor thing doesn't realize that her husband got deported back to Puerto Rico quite some time ago. Moving over here, this little guy is Chris. Chris just recently got moved to a different room. He believes it's a new house that has bad pipes. You might notice that Chris also has an ankle injury. He'll tell you that he did that while playing basketball with friends. In reality, he fell off a chair he was climbing on trying to get a cookie off the counter. And over here next to Chris is Scott. Scott thinks he's some kind of radio morning show host. He keeps telling everyone around here to vote for him for best radio voice. He keeps opening windows around here and then says, wow, even my car doesn't do that. He doesn't own a car. Scott often yells at our custodians here saying, what are you doing inside? You should be outside mowing my yard. One weird thing that Scott does is in the middle of the night, he yells the name Linda and then growls. Nobody's really sure why he does that.
A dog's name.
And lastly, over here is Mary. Poor Mary's in love with her doctor, Dr. Reedy. She also thinks that she's one of the nurses here and keeps saying that she needs more fentanyl. Mary's always taking all the packages from the other patients and opening them, and then says, look at the butterflies. But one fun thing around here is the 4 of them will get around the dinner table about once a week, or they say they record a podcast, using corn on the cob as microphones. But they can be pretty entertaining. So while I read these for a story, just kidding, I'm from North Carolina, we can't read, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. So for our first story, a Karen gets an ice cream truck kicked out of her community. And for our second story, a cat is reunited with his family after 11 years of being missing.
Wow. All right. Sarah, what do you think?
Oh, the Karen has got to be Florida. I see too many of them, so it's got to be it.
All right, Lewis, your thoughts?
I hate that I'm going to do this, but I agree with her. Because there's so many Karens here in Florida that it's not even funny.
All right, I'm going to join the Avila 3-way, and I'm going to also say that Karen is in Florida because, yeah, Florida is full of Karens. Let's find out the answer. Ryan, do you want to take a stab at it? Just kidding.
So our first story is from New Jersey, where a ice cream truck by the name Mr. Softy, sounds like Scott's nickname,
my sister
got kicked out of a North Jersey neighborhood.
My sister loves
because
that ice cream.
One person complained about the music being played. Scott used to have an ice cream truck, but got in trouble for only going to certain neighborhoods and only selling vanilla ice cream. This was the song his ice cream truck played. So that means our second story is from Florida, where in Jacksonville, a cat has been reunited with its family after 11 years. A citizen found the cat sick and brought it to the vet, where they found a microchip from 2010. Using the information on the chip, they were able to return the cat back to its family. So I want to be serious for 1 minute here, as it's been 1 year since Scott lost his cat. I know it was tough on Scott, and I do want to apologize for some of the jokes that I made, as there's a drive into left field by Castellanos. Anyways, in other news, in Florida, a 5 million year old elephant graveyard is found. Speaking of elephants, that reminds me when Scott said this.
Some would say I'm like an elephant, okay, in more ways than one, in both size and memory.
You know what an elephant wouldn't have forgot? To plug Sophisticated Gentlemen's podcast last week. Anyways, that's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
That's fantastic.
Beautiful.
That was really good, Ryan. So much to unpack there. That Castellano joke never gets old, ever. And also, you did it again, you goddamn clairvoyant.
I had no idea Lewis was going to be here.
Lewis was here. We talked about Sarah buying vintage stuff and Splash Mountain. It was the trifecta of being psychic. Oh my God.
That was fantastic. Does he always tell you, I don't have a lot of material this week. It's not going to be as good.
He always has material.
He'll sometimes say, it's not my best one. And then it ends up being, it's Sophisticated Gentleman does the same thing. He's like, not my best stuff. I'm like, no,
it's not my fault. You guys have low standards.
Well, if you set them, Ryan.
Have you heard our podcast, Ryan?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I talk to you every day. So, yeah.
Well, to me, it's like the successful ones are the ones that just stop the show. Like where you guys have to have a break. There's been a couple where you had to have a break like right after it. And those to me are just like, that's the ones I hold everyone up to, but I can't.
Well, yeah, those are your classic ones. Those are like, the Bubba Job episode or the Do They Know It's Christmas, where it's just these classic episodes. And occasionally you'll hit them. But the other ones are just so damn funny. They may not be showstoppers, but they are so funny. So Ryan, you're filling in for Chris this evening. Do you have any cliff notes for us tonight?
Yes, they're not really good, but I got a couple.
So these are going to be great, everybody. Oh, real quick, before you get to cliff notes.
What?
So I want to point out something. So they found the cat after 11 years because it was chipped.
Yes.
Imagine if we used that same technology in golf balls. People would never lose their golf balls again. See, it is a good idea.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to find an 11-year-old golf ball. But,
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
All right. So Sarah was talking about negotiations, and there used to be a term for talking people down on prices, in politic term now. From now on, I'm just gonna call it Sarahing somebody down.
Oh,
instead of
that's cute, Sarah. Someone.
Yeah. Well, like
it's cute. Not your best work, but it's cute.
Sarah likes Sarah likes things on eBay before buying them. Scott's wife didn't even like him before marrying him. Scott's wife loves Dooney and Burke, and Scott's nice enough to want to spend her money on buying her stuff.
Oh.
Listen, it's my credit card. She just pays the bills.
Scott said that Sarah has Walmart spending habits. Scott, I'm the poor one, not Sarah. Sarah mentioned pre-loved clothing. I think most of Scott's socks were pre-loved in high school. And lastly, Scott is holding on to his Spirit jersey so he can be original. Trust me, Scott, you'll be original when you're the only middle-aged man wearing a Spirit jersey in the parks.
Oh, man.
That was great.
Orange Bird at that.
Oh, yeah, I love Orange Bird.
Well, he's always saying they're unisex. They're unisex.
They are unisex.
Well, yeah, you and male cheerleaders are the only ones that should be wearing those.
Bravo, Ryan. The first joke.
You might have to cut. I was talking about Jewing people down, but I was saying Sarahing people down.
Oh, now
that's why I said the politics.
I'm sorry, you were lagging. I didn't get it.
No, there was no lag.
No, that was your
now
brain.
I get
you guys are lagging.
That's actually really funny now that you've explained it. And the best jokes are the ones
you have to explain, you know?
Exactly. But a roaring finish.
Hey, this is Alex from Diz His, along with
Chris from the No New. Wait, what is this an ad for?
This is an ad for Diz His on No New Friends.
Oh my gosh, I'm so out of place. So yeah, we're on a Disney podcast, right, Alex?
Yeah, you and me now. We're doing a Disney podcast, Disney history, every week on Tuesdays. It drops. social media is Diz His Pod.
Yeah, if you ever need cleansing of the obscurities that you hear on this show, check us out on Diz His Podcast, where we do something way more innocent.
And if you love Alex's segment, which is me, my history segment, then you'll love our full episode of Disney history.
Yeah, if you want a big load of Alex, listen to the Diz His Podcast. You're going to love it. A little bit of me, a lot of Alex. It's like half and half, but a lot of Alex. A lot of Alex.
Whoa. There's a lot of you too. You also give up a big load yourself.
That's fair.
All right, before we find out from Ryan what they're going to be doing on Diz His, Sarah, you like a good deal. We talked a lot about shopping around and stuff. Imagine if you could have someone shop for you. I have my wife shop for me. Sarah, if you could have someone shop for you, wouldn't that be great?
Amazing.
You know, then I can have my wife plan my vacation because she does all that.
I have to do all of that, you know, so I would love to not have to do that.
So you do all that. Okay. So yeah.
Guys. Hey, it's Nick here from Sandpiper Vacations. Move. I'm gay.
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
Nick, you're here. Why don't you tell us about Sandpiper Vacations?
Yes, I've been listening, and since Chris isn't here, it's been a very interesting episode to say the least. So I figured I'd hop on and say, you know what, get out of the way. I'm gay. It's my time to talk. So just want to briefly talk about Sandpiper Vacations. We are a full service travel agency. We specialize in Disney cruises, all inclusive resorts, and so much more. So book any vacation destination with us. Doesn't cost a single penny. Actually, Ryan is using us to go to Disney World in a couple weeks.
Yes, I am. Oh, nice.
And then Chris is headed on a trip to Alaska next month. So all you got to do is visit sandpipervacations.com. Let them know that the No New Friends podcast sent you. And back to you.
Thank you so much, Nick. And you can hear Nick every Wednesday on No New Friends After Dark. And you can hear more Move, I'm Gay, which is our favorite new segment. So does anybody know what they're talking about on Diz His this week?
I do.
Go for it.
They are talking about the TV show Gargoyles, which I used to watch when I was much younger.
Oh,
that's
cool.
That's one of Lewis's favorites.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, it is.
I have no idea what it is.
You don't know what it is?
No, but I knew that this day was going to happen where Diz His has done so many topics that they're going to have to do the history of the left trash can on Main Street, and we're here.
Dude, Gargoyles is an awesome show now.
Hey. No.
Full circle here. We almost spent $57 on a Gargoyles Funko at the flea market. Not for me, for my husband. Sorry. Take it away, Ryan.
You can connect with Diz His on all social media. That's Diz His Pod. Their episodes come out every Tuesday night. We've got some other amazing podcasts to tell you about. But first, before I forget, the best podcast out there, Cases of Continuity, where the sophisticated gentleman will bring you through the continuity of different series. Right now, it's the Bond series. Okay, so if you love James Bond, you're going to love every titillating episode of the Cases of Continuity. You're also going to want to check out Don't Wreck Yourself, where Ryan will take you through what's wrecking the internet from ashes to awesome. The podcast all about Chuck LaFlange and his rise from addiction and into recovery. Then we also have Cases of Continuity. You're not going to want to miss that podcast. It is an amazing podcast. Don't miss it. It's one of my favorites. I listen to it every day. I listen to it and then I listen to it again and then I listen to it again. Also, the Black Lincoln Collective podcast. They're funny and they're fat, just like me.
You're half right.
Check them out. We also have Big Beautiful Diz, the YouTube channel where Dane is going to show you all sorts of stuff about Disney and do some movie reviews. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. He's got a really cool video about what Y2K was like at Disney. Spoiler alert, way overhyped. We also have Studio 21, the baseball podcast, where you too can learn how to threaten an umpire. Then, of course, the Podfather himself, Lord Remy, will take you on a journey through Florida's theme park and Central Florida happenings and celebrity birthdays and whatever else he's got up his sleeve that week. I was on this week, so it's a very funny episode. I do Scott summaries. Oh, don't forget to check out Cases of Continuity, one of the best new podcasts out there. In fact, iHeart just called there. It's going to be nominated for best new coming podcast. I can feel it. iHeart really didn't call me. It's just kind of in my gut. Lewis.
Yes.
What do you got coming up on Nerd Archive?
Well, on this episode, we will be talking about the Secret Invasion finale, which sucked, and
it was garbage. The finale
it really was.
Free Guy was much better. Justin had it right on.
Yeah, he did. It's funny. The first segment lasted 40 minutes, is a lot longer than the episode itself. And then we also talk about the last trailer.
Love that post credit scene too. That post credit scene was amazing.
Fantastic. It was non-existent. We talked about last trailer of Blue Beetle, and maybe Nintendo is launching a new console. Maybe, which has been 9 years since they did. And then obviously in the last segment, we have Lola's theories and Would You Rather.
Oh, nice. All right. Also, mental health moment. We don't know where we're at with that. Mary's not here to tell us. And then
even if she was,
even if she was,
she might not know.
You may not know. And then I can't forget this one. Cases of Continuity. Sophisticated Gentleman does a fantastic job on this podcast. You're definitely going to want to check this out and listen to it multiple times. Just to make up for the fact that I forgot it last week. Don't forget to listen to us every Wednesday night where we have Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. He's our co-host on After Dark, and he's going to be hosting this week. Super excited. We've got a special guest coming on. Nick, you want to tell us who's coming on?
So on Wednesday's episode on the After Dark, we have a special guest. His name is Eric Alexander. So he is a blogger, a gay dad blogger called Nola Papa, and he kind of took off very quickly, and his blog has been published as the best LGBTQ parenting blog for 5 years in a row now. He just launched a podcast over a year ago and has 2 kids' books, so super excited to learn more about it.
Ah, that's awesome. And Nick's going to be hosting that, so check that out. And after you listen to NNF After Dark, every Wednesday night, Cases of Continuity comes out, so make sure you listen to that. If you'd like to connect with us, all of our social media links, they're right there on our website, knowyourfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our sweet merch, join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits, watch us as we record all of these things live, participate in our Discord, hear all the things that I have to cut out of the episode because it's just not good enough for, I have to take it out. Some of the things we say, we have to take it out. But and then if Apple, Spotify, give us that 5-star review and rating. We love that kind of stuff, and it really helps us out. On behalf of our producer Alex, Game Master Ryan, the Sophisticated Gentleman, Nerd Archive Lewis, Sarah, Nick, Chris, Mary, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.